Hey everyone, welcome back to this Chains Devstream. We're just kind of rushing to get everything together here, running a little bit behind. How's everyone doing tonight? Make sure everything's working. Looks like my audio is picking up. It has begun, Lloyd. What's up? Speaking of Lloyd, I need to start our music. Oh boy, that's loud. That is very, very loud. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Why is that picking up through my Discord audio device? I got some weirdness going on. How's the music level? Is it too quiet?
I checked, it's good now.
Okay, got it at like 5%. Truth out, chocolate, you only got one ear. What's up, Lloyd? What's up, Chocolate? What's up, J-Man, Honey Bro, Icarus, Dorama, FPTF, everyone.
Yes, Durama, Severed Chains is available now.
Yeah, actually, it's been available for a couple of years now, I believe, maybe a little over a year and a half. We are currently working on a new version, build 3, and this is a major graphical overhaul. Um, Energy saver on. Okay, that explains a lot. Can you explain what you mean by different disk formats? If you're asking if we support different regions, we currently only support US disk images. We would like to support more disks in the future, but that'll come at a later time. It's a pretty big time investment. Friend had some issues with Severed Chains. It was playing at weird speeds, either too slow or way too fast. It sounds like they may have cranked up the game speed accidentally. Um, if you press the equals key on your keyboard, it will increase the game speed, and you can press the minus or dash key to decrease it. The slowdown is likely, yeah, as Drew said, the scale was probably turned too high. No, so Severed Chains is a game engine. Uh, you need to provide your own disk images. I'll show you what this looks like right here. So these are rips of my actual disks, and the reason that we need that is because we can't ship any of the game assets. Stuff like 3D models, textures, music, and stuff. That's all copyrighted, and we would be obliterated by Sony if we were to ship that stuff. So you download Severed Chains, you drop your digital copy of the game into the ISOs folder, and that's it. That's the full setup, and the whole thing runs. Yeah, so a single download, and then basically you just drop in what you would need to play it on an emulator, but it's not an emulator; it's an actual game engine. Yeah, only thing stronger than SOA is
I'm
Japanese
not getting you on
copyright
Discord,
lawyers.
Corey.
That is right. You're not hearing me on Discord, Drew? It's probably Discord dumb old. How about now? Does that work?
Yes.
Yeah, looks like it's working. All right, perfect.
Okay.
Michael, tell them to try pressing the minus key a few times, just to see if that fixes it. And also tell them to turn the resolution scaling down in the options. That should resolve the issues. Yeah, so not really a patch. Basically, what we did here is we decompiled the full game into its machine code, and then translated that all into Java. So this is actually all like running in a game engine that we 100% programmed. But it is also 100% faithful to the original. I'm going to turn this down because that is also very loud. Going way down, way down.
I popped a link to our community Discord server for if y'all have other help needs and such, especially
Yeah,
if we're
there
not
you go.
streaming.
Yeah, we can show what that looks like for anyone here that's new. What save do I want to load up? Yeah, let's load up the save anywhere save. So first off, I guess this isn't really the greatest place to show this, but submaps are, well, you can see high resolution here for one thing, as well as 60 frames per second. Let's actually quit out here and load up a world map save. Full 3D scene. Yeah, we've got full. Oh, I apparently have encounters turned on. Oh, here you'll see the high def in combat as well. I currently have the UI code disabled because I was taking screenshots. So do that real quick. Yes, we will be adding translations. We'll actually be supporting translations to more languages than the game was originally released in as well, providing we have the support from the community to create those translations. Yeah, you can see the high resolution here. Yep, we support No Dart as well. One of our developers, Icarus, is working on ironing out the final issues with that. I believe he said he's around 70% finished with that stuff. We're aiming to have all those issues worked out by the time we release this new version. And yeah, we got free cam and everything too, which is always fun.
Want to show them Addy Select?
Oh yeah, this is something that we added recently. You can select which edition you want to do in game or in battle. We will eventually add some more information here, like the stats of each of the editions and stuff. Oh yeah, we added enemy health bars recently as well, which you can also see on screen. I might one-shot this thing.
To answer Arcade, for the chance of getting 4-member parties, we already had Monoxide here doing a demo many months ago, I think, with 7 enemy characters.
We did like 40 enemy characters.
Well, yes, we had the Kiwi, the giant army of vampire Kiwis and the piggies and all that. There was also like 6 original Dragoons.
Yeah.
So breaking that open will be a thing.
Yeah. Okay. So as I was, we do plan on to actually answer your question. We do plan on expanding it to allow greater party sizes as well as doing party swap mid-battle. This stuff, of course, will all be opt-in. We aren't going to be making any gameplay changes that aren't optional. Will there be any changes to how additions work? So there's more than just a difference in damage slash SP gen. Um, yeah, so actually that's kind of as I was just saying there. The purpose of Severed Chains isn't to make any gameplay changes, really. We are just taking the original game and presenting it in the best possible way. So, that includes stuff like high resolution. I completely rewrote all of the math code that the game uses, all the animation codes, so the animations are much smoother. You can see here we've got 60 frames per second here, which is just like flawless. Um, 60 frames per second will not be added to battle in this release. That'll be coming in a later release just because of how much work that's going to be. In the interest of not spending, another 6 months getting this release out when we've already been working on it for pretty close to a year. Yes, we already have a modding API and several mods are released. If you're familiar with Zychronix's Dramod for emulators, that has been ported to Severed Chains. Zychronix is a member of the Severed Chains team. He ported that over to Severed Chains, and it's much more powerful. It has a Iron Goon mod that is in the works that allows you to do all kinds of randomization, stats randomization, stuff like that. It's also going to have challenge runs. Another modder created EXP and gold reward tuner, so you can add like a multiplier for how much gold and experience you get from battles. And our next release after this one is done is actually going to be completely focused on the modding API. So we're going to just basically blow it wide open and let modders do whatever they want. And installing mods is super easy in Severed Chains. There's just this mods folder. You take your mods and you drop them into the mods folder. And that's it. You can see here I've got a mod for Infinite MP and SP, and I have a mod for the Upscale project, which is currently being worked on for Severed Chains. So that's going to be upscaled backgrounds for all of the submaps that use 2D backgrounds. I might actually have upscales in for... I can't remember if I still have the upscales in for Evergreen Forest here. No, it does not look like it. But anyway, that is a thing. What's up, Matthew? Yes, modders will be able to change how additions work. We don't have that completely ironed out yet, but that's going to be one of the things that we're targeting. You'll be able to add new items, new equipment, new spells, enemies, etc., etc., etc. Actually, let's show off a little bit of the upscale right now. I'm gonna restart the game here because I know I do have the intro cutscene upscales in here. So we will just do a new game. You'll be able to see this in high definition, 60 frames per second, and with the upscaled backgrounds. You can see looking very, very nice. Holy shit. Thank you to whoever just sent in the $75 donation. That is ridiculous. Thank you. It's donations like that that, really let me focus a lot of time on this project. Um, I've got to unfortunately balance this between doing work to support myself and my family. So, you know, any amount of money that comes in is a huge benefit. It lets me spend more of my free time and contract work time on focusing on separate chains. So, thank you. Yeah, he definitely looks like a praying mantis. But all of the dragons in the game have very unique designs, ranging from bugs to spaceships. Yeah, we have done some experimentation with custom models already. For example, Doom Metal's actually made custom models and animations that we've tested in game. He made a special Christmas model for me as a little Christmas gift, and it's instead of Dart holding a sword in battle, he's holding a candy cane. He also made a demo a new animation for Dart so that when you win a battle, instead of Dart doing his regular like sword slash victory pose, he twerks. So that's a thing. Yeah. The upscaled backgrounds are pretty ridiculous. That's a joint project between Zycronix and the Flying Zamboni. TFC is another Sever Chains dev. Um, he's the one that made the old modding tools for Legend of Dragoon before I started the Severed Chains project. You may have heard of LOD mods. It was used for applying mods and applying things like translation patches and stuff. So he's one of the core Severed Chains developers now. Starting game on the on the latest master branch will give these high res backgrounds. No. So the upscale project is a mod for Severed Chains. That's this right here. It's a separate project, and it's not released yet. I have a pre-release of it because, well, I mean, I made the core mod for it, and I'm working with Zycronix and TFZ on, yeah, like I work on the modding API stuff that the upscale project needs. So I need stuff to test it with, and also we like to show stuff off on the streams just to kind of give a little teaser of what's going on lately. And then Zycronix and TFC are the ones that actually do the upscale work.
To answer Dovahkiin about why we didn't use Unreal or Unity, that is because that would constitute a fan game, and fan games are generally illegal and heavily persecuted. So the legaler option is to reverse engineer the original and then put it into Java in this case.
Yeah, so this is a custom engine that I wrote. The whole purpose is to be, perfectly faithful to the original, while also displaying all of the game's assets in the best quality that we possibly can. Um, so yeah, in battle you can really see how much of a difference there is here. Let's pop back into FreeCam for a second. We can show Dart. Yeah, this is currently rendering at about 1080p. I've just got it set to native resolution, so it'll render at exactly the size of my game window. I recently added resolution configuration, so you can actually You can actually change your resolution in game. You can do original resolution or several other multiples. And actually, while we're in here, I'm just going to uh, drop this down to the original resolution so you can see what that looks like. I'm just going to do this programmatically since we're already in game. Original dot. So this is original resolution. And even though this is the original resolution of the game, it's actually still going to look much better than it would on console because this is still going to be using the completely rewritten math and animation code. So everything is much more accurate, whereas the PS1 had serious, serious limitations on its 3D rendering. Due to various reasons, like the lack of floating points, or the PS1 actually isn't even a 3D console. Developers had to do all of the 3D to 2D conversion themselves, and doing that properly on slow hardware with 2 MB of RAM is not easy. We've got a lot more power these days, so we can just do a much better job. And if you're familiar with how the animations look on a PS1, you can probably tell just how much higher quality this movement is, um, even with it being this low of a resolution. In the PS1, you see basically like whole surfaces of the model just kind of like popping as it moves. But we can do sub-pixel animation here, and yeah, make things look much much better.
Yeah, normally those individual polygon faces will just disappear or overlap each other, and virtually all of that will be gone.
Yeah, all of it.
If anyone's played on emulators like Beetle or DuckStation, you're probably used to a little bit of what that fix can look like, generally speaking, the PGXP model correction stuff, but this will take it further than that.
That no, that's not even the same class of thing, Drew. PGXP basically is a hack to improve the wobble that the PS1 games have, which is due to them using a very very low quality, um, basically perspective. How do I explain this? Modern rendering uses very complicated math to convert 3D into 2D to show on your screen, um, which is not really feasible to do on a PS1. So the PS1 used something called perspective division, which doesn't use a field of view or anything like that. It's just basically a straight cone. Um, and it introduces a lot of like wobbling on texture faces. Um, they don't have a depth buffer or anything like that. So when you get up close to a face, you'll see they'll be like distorted instead of flat, and when you move, they kind of wiggle around and stuff. So that's what PGXP kind of improves. But the Legend of Dragoon animation code has more fundamental issues, which are due to a fundamental issue on the PlayStation, which is that it doesn't support fractions. So you can't really have like, a 0.5. You can only have a 0 or a 1. So everything has to snap to a pixel. Whereas in Severed Chains, with all the new math and animation code, um, we don't have those restrictions. We can have a fractional number. We can have pixels that are, halfway in between two things. And that makes a huge, huge amount of difference. Um, I mean, I can show this pretty easily by firing up an older version of Severed Chains. So this older version of Severed Chains does not have the issues with wobble, It's not PGXP correction per se. That's a hack that emulators use. We have a custom renderer that just doesn't have those problems in the first place, but it still has the issues with the low resolution animations. So once I fire this up, you'll be able to see that we don't have the wobble, but the faces still do a whole lot of jumping.
And my point was more just that
Sorry, 1 second. This
PGXP
is
is the big
also
improvement
really
over original
loud.
hardware, and SC is.
Okay, there we go. Go ahead, Drew.
My basic point was just that PGXP is a big improvement over the original hardware, and then SC is a even bigger improvement over that. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah, totally. All right, so here is the old version of Severed Chains. So I can do render scaling here and crank up our effective resolution, but just look at how much everything kind of jiggles as it's moving here. Like look at Shanna's legs and arm, Dart's shoulder here, you know, any of this movement in the scene. So this doesn't have the issues with the wobble per se, but because the animation code is quite low quality, even though the animations can look much better, they don't. Yeah, no, you don't have to apologize for the questions. I mean, that's the real reason we do these streams is to just kind of peel back that layer and let everybody see what's going on behind the scenes here with Severed Chains. You know, we like to explain not only what we're doing, but why we're doing it, right? And I think that gives people an interesting perspective on Legend of Dragoon and, you know, just kind of game development in general. You know, game development in the 90s especially. Um, Developing for consoles, of course, was always a trade-off between performance and visuals. You know, Legend of Dragoon, for the most part, already only runs at 20 frames per second. So they're kind of doing their best with what they had at hand. Some parts of battles during certain effects even actually run as low as 12 frames per second, which is pretty crazy. It's not like long spans of effects that run that low, so you don't usually notice it because there's usually like a whole lot of stuff going on. But yeah, it's pretty crazy to actually like, you know, the first time I saw that something was running at 12 frames per second, I was just like, wow, we got to do something about that. Right now, Sony owns the rights, so to see a new game, someone would have to pay them to get the rights to make a modern version or a sequel. Yeah, as Drew said, it's pretty unlikely that they would sell the rights. I mean, I'm sure they've got a price, but it's not something that any of us would ever be able to get from them. So yeah, so that's a pretty good comparison between the two, and you know why we're doing what we're doing. And on top of the graphics, actually, the graphics are, you know, the most prominent thing that you can see here. Um, but we've actually got an entire new music engine too. And if you compare the music between this and retail, there is a very, very big difference between the two. It's not something that you'll really hear unless you're listening to it on pretty good speakers and like you actually know what to listen for. But yeah, it's actually like a really major difference. All right, so Drew, what we were actually going to be working on today is implementing some more of the missing effects that we have not converted yet to the new renderer. Um, Over the past, well, actually yesterday mostly, I implemented a whole lot of effects that were still missing.
Yes. I think one of them was particle effects, for example, some of the addition particle effects, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, this is lagging terribly. I think it
Maybe
was
some
just
line
because
effects.
I think
Oh,
it
are
was
you
just
lagging?
no, it was just my browser that was lagging, I think. Yeah, let's take a look at the commits here and just see what all it was, because I don't really remember. Yeah, so we got all kinds of new stuff in yesterday. Anybody who's been using the dev builds will be able to see this immediately. We got additions, all kinds of stuff for doing additions. The spark effect when your weapons hit the enemies, rain effects, projectile hit effects, which is also stuff like the plague rats, like bite particle effects and stuff. I added the guard effect, which is the shield that pops up when you get attacked. Um, a few missing particle effects. Game over screen if you're bad. Radial gradient, which is used for stuff like detonate arrow. Dovahkiin, there is currently myself and the Flying Zamboni. We are the two core developers. TFC's been busy for a while. He's been moving and stuff, so he's been too busy to work on it much lately. But he's just getting back into things now, so we should see the pace pick up a bit more here. Zycronix, who is the developer of Gramod and one half of the Upscale project. He also works on the Severed Chains core once in a while. Right now, he's trying to figure out some bugs and things like that. There's Icarus, who is a fourth developer. He works mostly on scripts. He's currently working on fixing some of the script bugs as well as getting No Dart working fully. Uh, and yeah, I think that's the sort of core team right now, the four of us. We've got a few other people on the periphery, like Doom Metal, for example. Doom works on a lot of, he doesn't really work on the code much. He's fixed a couple of bugs here and there, but he mostly works on other tools like model converters and things like that. Model and texture converters. So those are things that are very useful for modders. Um, Drew, do you consider yourself part of the Severed Chains team?
In every way except code.
There you go. Yeah, Drew works on
Um,
a lot of the Drew manages the Discord community and the YouTube page and stuff like that. And yeah, Twitter and whatnot does all of our community outreach and things like that.
I wear 108 hats.
Yep.
In terms of SC stuff, I just keep advocating for it like I would any other really cool LED project. And for as long as Monoxide here wants me to specifically advocate for it, like doing the helping manage our stream videos and all that stuff and advertising about that, I will keep doing that as well. But I do a lot of different things: archivism, website stuff, way too many things. Too many things. We need more help. Send help.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel
Yes.
that I'm putting a lot of hours into this.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna have you solo for a little while.
Yeah,
Be
no,
back at some
Drew.
point.
All right, well, we will talk to Drew in a little bit then. We had some stuff come up some stuff come up and have parted ways with Illipri for at least right now. Yeah, Doom's done a lot of documentation on the files as well, which is a big help. Um, yeah, I don't know if you saw the other streams, Michael, but we've actually done a bit of work on multiplayer for Legend of Dragoon. We started out with working on some co-op stuff. Uh, it's not playable, or even close to playable yet, but we got the sort of bare bones done. You can launch a client and server, and the server host can start a fight. And when that happens, the battle stage and encounter gets sent over to the other players who are connected, as well as the game state. So you actually enter into the same fight, and certain actions like guarding will actually synchronize between the clients. Yeah, like I said, it's not even close to being like playable yet, but yeah, we have started that on some of the dev streams. If you want to see that, we do VODs for all of our streams, so you can just after this video is done, of course, watch this video until the very end. You have to give us our watch time so that Daddy YouTube likes us. But yeah, you can go to our VODs, our previous live streams, and watch the different ones about multiplayer. And if you're lucky, you can have two characters attack at the same time. It'll crash the game. Yeah, we had some interesting bugs happen while working on the multiplayer stuff, like getting like multiple players attacking at the same time and stuff, which is something definitely interesting to see. Oh, also, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you like what you're seeing here, because I try to do these streams every week. It's been a little spotty lately because I've just been super busy and super tired working on house renovations and the garden and all kinds of stuff, and it's just been a lot. And of course, working on the engine itself is a lot of my free time as it is, and sometimes Wednesday rolls around and I'm just feeling like completely drained, and as fun as the streams are, I gotta rest or I'm gonna get burnt out. But yeah, I've got a pretty big garden actually. I My main goal with the rising grocery prices and stuff is to basically have to buy as little as possible from the grocery stores. So it's going pretty well. What was I talking about? Streams. Yeah, so subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing here. I try to stream every week on Wednesday, same time. Like this video because it helps out a lot. And if you really like what I'm doing here, there is a donation link in the corner of the screen over there. Um, you can either send one-off donations, or you can subscribe monthly for various perks. And every little bit helps. It just means that I can spend more time on this project and make more cool things. What's up, LRC? Been a while since we've seen ya. How's it going? What's up, Ninchi? What's up, Steve? Playing Stardew Valley IRL? Yes, exactly. When will this be complete? I cannot answer that question because this is something that we work on in our spare time. Um, we are getting, well, I should first say that we have a complete version out now. We're working on a new update that improves the graphics. Um, you can play it from start to finish right now with the old graphics if you'd like. This version, we are getting fairly close to the end of the work that we've got going on here, which sort of segues me into something very important, and that is we have plans to not this weekend, but the weekend after that, to ramp up our testing. So we've got a group of testers now. Some of them are in the chat here now. Um, that sort of just kind of play through the game casually. And if I have stuff that specifically I need people to work on, then I'll post in the testing group and get them to look into that. Starting the weekend after this one, we're going to be doing coordinated testing where I get the testers to basically run through everything in like a collaborative and very coordinated manner, to really like ramp up the testing for the release that we're going to be doing now. Um, because we are getting pretty close to the end of this release cycle, and we're pretty much at the point where we need to really start hammering it and getting all the bugs worked out before we do the release. So if you are interested in joining us on that, in becoming a tester for Severed Chains, feel free to message me on the Discord server. We have a Severed Chains channel. Um, do we have a? I can't remember if we have a bot command for Discord. I think we do. Let me see if this works. If not, I will grab a link to the server. Doesn't look like that is. Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, pop into our Discord server. Just mention that you want to be a tester. We will add you to the testing group and get you all set up. That'll be the weekend after this one coming. That will be starting the testing ramp up. So that you will put a hard mode in the game. So hard mode is actually available now. That is another one of Zychronix's projects. Um, that is part of Dramod. There is both hard mode and hell mode. Hell mode's not finished yet, but it will be coming with the next update. Um, and it's a pretty significant rebalance. It rebalances the entire game, and it adds all kinds of new features too. Each character has special abilities for one thing. Like for example, Dart has burn stacks, and you can use those burn stacks to power up your attacks. There's also I can't remember if this is for hard mode or hell mode, but you can get your dragoons up to level 7. And there's additional spells that you can cast. Yeah, Hell Mode has all that. Um, I don't know what all it has off the top of my head. It's Chronix's project, but it's definitely very, very cool. And if you think that you're interested in playing a harder version of Legend of Dragoon, you should absolutely check it out. It's a mod for Severed Chains. That's another thing that if you're interested in, just feel free to pop into the Discord server and ask about it. We'll help you get everything set up. Chocolate off the last week of this month. There you go. We're gonna burn your vacation with testing. #1 game of all time. Thanks for answering my question. Always playing the soundtrack in my spare time, so nostalgic. Yeah, the game has a very, very good soundtrack. I gotta agree with you there for sure. Yeah, LRC, totally understand. I'm pretty busy lately too. I get it. Everything that we do here is entirely, opt-in and free time. Um, you can be a tester and, not necessarily participate in every bit of testing. Um, as long as once in a while you can pop in and give us a hand with things, that's totally fine. Yes, Steve. The game is Sever Chained is readily available. Go to legendofdragoon.com/project/severed-chains. I'll copy the URL into the chat. That has links for downloading the game and setting it up as well. And we are currently working on the major graphical update, which has, well, we've been calling it 4K 60 FPS, but technically it's, whatever resolution you can render it at. In the options here, I have added configuration to set it up to uh, 8K. But if you have an even larger monitor than that somehow, you can set it to native window size, and then it will just render at whatever size your window is. So really, like the resolution is, effectively infinite, as large as your monitor can be. I don't know what you mean by normal but hell mode version. You can see our 60 frames per second update here. Only limit to your resolution is your imagination. Yeah, you can really see how much of a difference the 60 frames per second makes. I don't know how well this is coming in over the stream. Hopefully it's not too bad, but it looks very, very nice in person. Um, Actually, that's a pretty good question, Michael. Right now, the way that Dramod works, I think the way that Zachronix has it set up is that those features are only enabled on the specific presets, but I think it would be pretty interesting to make it so that people who make their own presets can enable those features. I should say that Dramod actually allows you to make your own difficulty presets as well. Um, it basically puts everything in the game into CSV files, so you can edit items, equipment, enemy stats, player stats, additions, etc., just by editing a simple CSV file. And yeah, you can make your own you can make your own difficulty presets for the game. Actually, honestly, you probably could just copy the normal like the normal US preset into the hard mode directory, and you would get that. I mean, you could definitely try that. That would probably work, actually, because I think he just enables it based on the preset name. That's actually an interesting idea, because it would be cool to have those features on a normal playthrough as well. Let's get into a fight. Now, in battle is still 20 frames per second, the regular frame rate. Um, we are not going to be upping battle to 60 for this release, just because of how much work it's going to be. That's going to be like, probably 6 months of work on its own, and we've already been working on this release for pretty close to a year. It'll be a year in July. So we've opted to just leave this at 20 for now, and do the battle update to 60 in a future build. As far as we know, they're all original ideas. There wasn't really a whole lot of stuff left over in the game. Um, and there isn't really, some of these old games, will have like, developer interviews and stuff like that where the devs talk about the development of the game and stuff like that. Unfortunately, Legend of Dragoon doesn't have anything like that to our knowledge. So we don't really have much insight into the actual development of the game, aside from a few interesting tidbits like that Rose was originally going to be a character in Super Mario RPG. Um, we found a little bit of like cut content in the files, not a whole lot, mostly just stuff to speculate on. Like we found, for example, we found voice lines for additions for Miranda. I think she has like 5 recorded voice lines or something like that. Nothing for Shauna, but we've got Japanese voice lines for Miranda. There's some other cut content. One of the recent streams, actually, we restored some cut content for a couple of bosses. Um, One weird thing was that Kamui, the dog that you fight in the Evergreen Forest, or the wolf that you fight in the Evergreen Forest, for some reason in the conversion from the Japanese version into the US version, for whatever reason they cut one of Kamui's attacks, so we restored that. And then one that was actually more interesting is that we restored Zeeg's explosion spell, which isn't used in any version of the game, but it does exist in the game files. So we added that back to his moveset. Can we get Shauna additions? Short answer, yes. Long answer, we will be allowing modders to modify character additions. That's going to be part of the next release, the one that comes after this one that we're working on now. RB4 is going to be focused entirely on just really expanding the modding API, like big time. For the other language, you will take the already translated version, or you will translate it by yourself. Um, we are going to use the original translations where possible, but there is only a limited number of translations available in the original game. Um, we are going to be basically externalizing everything into language files, which I can show you what those look like here. So this is a language file for Severed Chains for all of the configuration stuff. However, eventually we are going to be basically externalizing all of the dialogue in the game into these files as well. So retranslating the game will just be a matter of taking one of these files and, updating each line into another language. We're going to use the originals where we can, where those languages exist. And I'm very confident that modders will also provide things like retranslations and improved translations, because as a lot of you probably know, the English translation of the game is pretty rough. It's got a lot of charm, but at the same time, there's some pretty egregious like spelling and grammar mistakes, and yeah, it's just there's parts of it that are just not great, not great. One of the things that I implemented last night that was missing from the new renderer is the weapon trails. So you can see the like colored trail behind Lavitz's weapon here. That's something that I just updated last night. Oh, this is the second time that you go to Helena. So Rose is actually supposed to be here. That being said, Severed Chains does have a lot of dev tools built in, which I can open by pressing F12. So for example, I could go to the game state editor and I could put a different character in my party. Now you can see I've got Congle. Translations be something that could be done via PRs at some point, or are you all going to use something external like Crowd-In? Honestly, Kronos, we have not put any thought into how it's going to be done yet. It's a little bit early. On the last stream, I did actually like take the very first steps into kind of like starting the translation code. We did a little bit of experimenting with how we could sort of like dump all of the text from the game scripts. Um, but we haven't really had the time or space to like figure out exactly how that's going to work yet. Crowd-in would be interesting to look into. Um, I know that other games use that, so definitely something that we should look into, but I don't really have any experience with using it, so yeah. Something to look into and figure out. Insane how the game in combat looks faster than the original. Um, so if you are French, you may have actually been playing the PAL version of the game, in which case this version actually literally is faster. Because the PAL PS1 runs at 50 frames per second, but the NTSC PS1 runs at 60. So you might actually be seeing this 1/5 faster than what you're used to, which yeah, it is what it is. Separate Chains is based on the NTSC version, um, and likely will always run at 60 or some multiple of 60. Actually, oh, Zychronics, while you're here, we were just discussing something about Dramod. If somebody wanted to play with the hard mode or hell mode features, like the level 7 dragoons, additional spells, and burn stacks and stuff like that, um, could they just copy the US preset and overwrite the hard mode preset? That should just work, shouldn't it? Yeah, crowd-in's definitely something to look into. And if you really find the game slow, you can turn up the game speed multiplier and yeah, just run around super fast. Yeah, I know, I'll get around to it. Yeah, so whoever was, I think it was Michael asking about the difficulty. Oh yeah, yeah, I was talking to Zychronics there. Yeah, so Michael, Zychronics did confirm that you should be able to just overwrite the hard mode preset with the US and play US with the new hard mode features, if that is the kind of thing that you are into. We got a lot of viewers right now. How's everyone doing? So yeah, for anyone else who is just learning about Sever Chains now, we've got all kinds of new options here too. We can use high quality projection, which makes things look a lot nicer just in general. We've got save anywhere. You can choose whatever resolution you want. We've got full screen, which is actually a new feature. The menus look jank right now because they're not done. They're still work in progress. You've got inventory size adjustment. You can go all the way from 9,999 items down to one if you really, really want to. We've got enemy HP bars that you can turn on and off. We've got a fix for the encounter rate bug in the retail game. Difficulty options like automatic additions, automatic Dragoon additions, stable status effects, automatic text, quick text, etc., etc., etc. All kinds of fun stuff. Might as well show off the upscaled high definition intro again while we're here. Oh yeah, save anywhere too. Dinner includes Death Wish coffee. I like a nice strong coffee, but I mostly drink tea these days. Let's turn. Sorry. Yes, we actually have a modder actually already made a XP and gold multiplier mod. So it adds options to the game that allows you to scale your experience, I think, anywhere from like 10% up to like 1,000%. I don't have that installed right now, but yeah, it is available. I think we might actually have a link to that on the Severed Chains page on the LOD site. I will never get over how good the 60 frames per second looks here. I don't know how well this will come over on the YouTube stream, but just trust me, it looks good. Well, you don't have to trust me. You can download this right now if you want to. Yeah, so this right here, what you're seeing right now, Dovahkiin, this actually has the upscale mod installed. So all of these are upscaled backgrounds courtesy of Zachronix and the Flying Zamboni. This will be an optional mod that you can install for Severed Chains. The upscales won't be included by default. It will be a separate mod. Well, sorry, the upscaled backgrounds. The high resolution and everything is just part of Severed Chains. I mostly drink hot orange pico, Drew. And I usually forget about it and let it steep for about 2 or 3 hours before I drink it. I'm the kind of person that prefers my tea strong enough that you can pretty much stand a spoon up in it. You're also hearing much, much higher in-game music. Um, the Legend of Dragoon code for playing the music is actually not very good. We use a much, much better interpolation and upsampling for the music, as well as double resolution reverberation and stuff like that. So the backing music sounds much, much better than it does in the retail game. I'm also pretty interested in doing some stuff to improve the graphics further. I plan to at some point look into things like ambient occlusion and real-time shadows. Um, so that'll be pretty interesting to see. We wouldn't be able to do we wouldn't be able to do that stuff on submaps because the backgrounds are all 2D, but we could definitely do it in battle and on the world map. We haven't had much time to work more on playable Lloyd lately, LRC. More will come of that in the future. Anyone who hasn't seen it, we did actually several streams on working on making Lloyd a playable character. We actually got him in game, but we didn't make any like custom attacks or anything like that for him yet. Yeah, the LOD wasn't really designed for grinding whatsoever. I don't know if I would call that sadly, Matthew. But you can actually play through fairly easily without doing any random encounters at all. Like just fighting bosses. Most of the experience that you get in the game. Oh, right, I turned my inventory size down to 1. That's why I can't fit any items. Let's turn that back up. But yeah, so most of the experience that you get in game comes from bosses anyway. So you still won't really be that much lower of a level if you only fight bosses. Favorite music of the game, Dart's theme, and Boss Battle 3. What's everybody's favorite song? Mine is definitely the World Map 2. Well, that's probably like my number one favorite, but there's some other very good ones that are really close too. ETA for RB3 is, as always, when it's done. We're getting pretty close to the end of the release cycle. Starting the weekend after this one, we are going to be ramping up the testing. So if anybody is interested in helping us tune, or helping us, I just read tune in the chat. If anybody is interested in helping us test, pop into our Discord server, into the Severed Chains channel. And yeah, just let us know that you want to be a tester and we'll get you added to the group. We'll be starting ramping up the testing, not this weekend, but the one after that. Manual is a good one too, for sure. I mean, Dart's theme is definitely one of the obvious ones. I mean, it's it's probably pretty far up there on anybody's list. Just very triumphant, of course. Shanna's theme's good too. Oh, also another feature that we have here for Severed Chains is unlimited save slots, and you can also give your saves names. Now if I go back into the list, you can see I can either create a new save or overwrite my previous save. So yeah, you can have unlimited save slots, and each new game is separated into a campaign. Each campaign can have its own settings and mods enabled. So like you could have one campaign. Well, actually, let me pop back to the title screen. We've got a quit option now too. Lets you go back to the menu. If I go to continue, you can see I've got two campaigns here. You can also name those. I just gave them the default names. But yeah, so each campaign has its own saves. That's my main testing campaign, and this is the one that we just created. And yeah, each campaign has its own configuration and its own set of mods. So like you could have one campaign that's for hard mode, and you could have another one that was for like easy mode with auto-completed additions and bigger inventory and stuff like that. Also, we have zero loading times, as you can pretty clearly see. We only, I mean, right there was a loading time, but that's just because they added a fade effect. Technically, there was no loading time there. Just blame the original developers. Royal Castle was always stuck in my head, and I didn't mind it. Yep, always a good one. I'm new here. Is the game fully playable with the recommended build? Not a stupid question. We're here to answer these questions. Yes, it is fully playable start to finish. It has been fully playable for, I think, about a year and a half now. The current stable build, recommended build 2.1, is fully playable start to finish. There are a handful of minor visual and audio bugs, but nothing major. Occasionally you'll hear like a weird sound effect or see like a minor visual bug, but yeah, nothing major, nothing game breaking by any means. We also have the dev build available if you're interested in helping us out with testing. That's what I've got here right now. The dev build is also available on our GitHub. It is automatically updated every time any of us pushes new code to the repository. So it's like bleeding edge all the time. Um, However, you might run into more serious bugs in the dev build because they are not thoroughly tested. As I said, they literally go up within like a minute of us pushing the new code. So, yeah, no testing, but that's what the testers are for. Favorite boss music, 1, 2, 3, or Melbu? That's a good one, Ninchi. Um, I don't think I have a preference between the boss themes personally. Yeah, no need to thank us. I mean, that's what we're here for. That's the reason we do these streams. Um, like I said earlier, it's kind of like a peek behind the curtain. Lets us show off like, what we're working on, how things are going, and answer these questions that, a lot of people have. It's a very, very big project, and a lot of people don't really know exactly what it is we're going for, or what the project even is. A lot of people think that it's like emulation or like a mod, but in reality, it's a full like rebuild of the game engine. Like we've fully ported it to PC and pushed it way farther uh, than modding or emulators could ever go. Yeah, no, thanks for stopping by to the stream. We do this just about every Wednesday, so hopefully we'll see you around. And if you're interested, pop into our Discord server and say hi. We'll definitely see you around. You may have noticed in that fight, anybody who's been watching the dev streams or playing the dev builds, that a lot of battle effects are looking a lot better now. Last night I implemented like 7 or 8 effects that I still hadn't gotten around to implementing yet. So there's a lot more special effects in fights now, and we're actually getting pretty close to having all of the effects converted. I think there's only like maybe 21 of them left out of hundreds. So yeah, we're getting really close here to actually being done with this update and then moving into the testing phase so that we can do the full release of it. You can actually see Frugal's creepy ass face. Yeah, super unfair. Like, honestly, how dare they? Oh, right, Icarus also recently fixed the encounter rate in this build being bugged. That was wrong. Guard should heal me for half, shouldn't it? It only healed me for 6. Or no, is it 10%? Yeah, no, it's 10%. Never mind. It's right. Don't listen to me. I only made the game. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, I agree. Sony did really fumble. To be fair to them, the game did very, very poorly in Japan. It was only really popular in North America and some parts of Europe. Um, I'm from Canada. It was actually like a pretty popular game here at the time. I knew a lot of people who played it. It was actually one of my friends that got me into it. Um, but yeah, it did not do very well in sales in Japan at all, unfortunately. And yeah, I think they kind of gave up on the game pretty quick. I don't think that the encounter rate was wrong. Yeah, I'm also from Nova Scotia. I used to live in Halifax, but I live in the middle of nowhere now. Let's change our addition here because why are we still using double slash? See what I mean? We like probably like half of the people around it like look at everybody in the chat who is saying they're from Canada. Like, yeah, you never expect us. No one ever expects the Canadians. Yep, mid-battle edition swap. That is one of the more recent things that we added. USA's Canada, yes. That is, from what I understand about Minnesota, that is absolutely true. Okay, how many people was that? One, two, three, four. Me and two of the other Severed Chains devs. Actually, over half of the Severed Chains team is Canadian, and a bunch of other people in the Discord server are as well. Icarus, are you still here? Do you have permissions to create polls? Okay, hold on. I think I should be able to create a poll here. How do I create a poll? Um, Come on. Where? Ah, here we go. Here we go. All right. All right, everybody, poll up. Get answering. If you ever need to fix your car, Canadian YouTube is where it's at. There you go. Right, I think we're doing pretty well considering the how small of a population Canada has. What's up, Drew? Come on. We're down in 19%. Canadians, where are you? I can't answer in the poll, so there's at least one more vote from me. wonder if I can answer on my TV because I've got the stream up on my TV as well. No, okay. I tried. I tried. Oh, we're up to 24%. Oh, I gotta press the button. I'm not paying attention. Yes, Mr. Can't Stop the Robot is absolutely correct. I like how there is as many Canadians as there are people who wish they were Canadian. Yeah, everybody is a spiritual Canadian. You can be a Canadian if just really you just really want to. What is the game getting a Canadian translation? We might have to do that. Who's with me on making a Canadian translation for LOD? Yeah, chocolate. I mean, yeah, Garrett. Honestly, like that's pretty much the only question on the entry exam. Like, are you sorry that you weren't born Canadian? Yes. You're good. You're in. That's it. I know. Honestly, Pony Bro. Like, sorry, I keep reading the wrong name. Honestly, chocolate. Like, I just assumed that TFC was Canadian. I'm not sure if PS1 can render Canadian language. Yeah, Alaska's pretty close, but you all have Sarah Palin, and that's just not gonna fly. I guess anyone bordering Canada, you can be honorary Canadians too. You can allow that. Yeah, no, Melbu is definitely American. Sorry. Yeah, I guess that's close enough. Tons of fun. Close enough. Yeah, that's it. Severed Chains is now just officially a Canadian game. After the game ends, the entire party goes out for a rip bud. They have a kitchen party in Lavitz's honor. Okay, honestly, it seems kind of cheap that the guard can keep running while I have a dialogue open. Was that too soon with the Lavitz thing, chat? I mean, it's only been 25 years. Jacob, yes, if you switch your editions in battle, it does count the experience towards the correct edition. That was actually something that we just fixed recently. Always too soon. Yep. Yeah, like I could switch to double slash right now, and it will count the right experience towards double slash. Yeah, there you go. How long until somebody does mod the end of the game so that Lavitz comes back into your party? Yeah, I don't know about that, Mirage. It would be very, very cool for that to happen, but we've been waiting an awful long time for that. Yeah, almost 50 votes in the poll. We're doing pretty good. Yeah, Zion, we actually already started a playable Lloyd mod. We did a couple of dev streams where we worked on that. I got the model and animations implemented for battle. Yeah, Undead Rose would be pretty fitting. I mean, aside from Lavitz, she's probably the other closest thing to undead, considering she's been alive for 11,000 plus years. Yeah, we can just trade Miranda for Lavitz. Yeah, yeah, save anywhere too. Lavitz picks up the red and black Dragoon spears out of the nest and adds them to his Infinity Gauntlet. Icarus, please do that. Let's switch back to Volcano here. The bedroom scene from Return of the King, but it's all Legend of Dragoon characters. That's where Lavitz comes back. Yeah, no, Viraj, Dart and Lavitz definitely have a serious bromance going on. I don't think there's anyone disputing that at all. Can you stop attacking Dart? Come on. It's actually another thing you can do with the debugger. You could set your entire party to Marus if you wanted to. You can also do solo runs in Severed Chains Barrage. We can remove characters from our party, including Dart. We've got no Dart support. Don't give me any ideas, Chocolate. You know what? Let's do it. No Dart, just Lavitz. Damn, 51 in the poll. We're still tied with yes and I wish. Neo, yes, I have already added in Battle Edition swap. That's what you're seeing right here. Barrage, that is actually something that I believe that might already be possible in Ink's mod, Iron Goon. He's been working on a mod for Separate Chains called Iron Goon that adds a lot of randomization stuff. Makes the gameplay a lot more fresh. Not to be confused with Four Swords. I think right now it is entirely random, but that is something that anybody would be able to do with the modding API. We plan to improve the battle UI now that we have a lot higher resolution to work with. There wasn't really room for that in the original game because it rendered at 240p. But now that we've got the higher resolution, we plan on overhauling some of the menus. And we will be adding all kinds of new displays. We have already added Dragoon experience to the post-combat screen, which you may have noticed. Yeah, we'll add the overworld character models eventually. We did another dev stream where we switched to a bunch of different models on the world map. Everything from different party members to random characters from the game to dogs and chickens, Dart carrying Shauna. We will be adding the option to remove the level cap with the modding API update as well. Yeah, I like to picture Dart just kind of standing back and watching Lavitz get wailed on. Yeah, removing the level cap is coming. More mini games. That's something that Drew wants very badly. Art and Shanna rom-com. The real question is, when are we getting a Kongal dating sim? Icarus, get on it. Yeah, more side quests will be pretty interesting. That will be possible with mods. It's actually possible right now to add new maps to the game. Icarus has done some experimentation with that. Oh, speaking of new mini games, anyone who didn't see this, we have a video of it up on our channel. Icarus made a rhythm game, like Guitar Hero or DDR for Legend of Dragoon. So that's a thing. Um, we uploaded it as a April Fool's video, but the real April Fool's was that it was real. And you can download that right now and play it if you want to. It's basically Guitar Hero, but with Legend of Dragoon songs. Yeah, Dragoon surely would be interesting. Unfortunately, we have investigated that, and it is a myth. It looks like the image of it is just a Photoshop. Um, and there's nothing, there's no remnants of that in the game files. Uncle Dating Sim is called Monster Hunter. uh, LRC, all 7 characters in the party is something that we would like to explore in the future, but there's some complications due to how they coded the script engine. Um, it'll be interesting to see if we can get that working. I imagine we can get it working, but it'll be a fair bit of work. Congo looking for love. Yeah, I played a bit of the rhythm minigame, and it is a lot of fun. I actually used to play a lot of Guitar Hero. What's up, Doom? What's going on? Yeah, we would definitely have to add some kind of scaling for if we increase the number of party members. Party member swap in battle is also something that we plan on adding at some point. Seven party members versus the Lohan bottle scammer. Honestly, the super boss that Faust could never be. I'll still never get over the fact that Lavit sounds like he just yells "arf" when he gets hit while he's guarding. Can you do literally anything else? Seriously? Okay, this is the only thing that he's able to do. I think it's because he's low health. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we could do with additional party members. Lots and lots of different ways that we could handle that. Yeah, this is literally all he's gonna do. Alternate costumes is interesting. There's a lot of interest in you know, being able to play as like zombie lab bits and stuff. Um, that's probably doable just by swapping out textures. Modders can also make their own textures for characters as well. This is the single most interesting battle to watch ever. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Doom. Matthew, that's part of the Kongal dating sim. Start not even trying and still leveling up. What's up, Schwabe? Good to see you. Yeah, Kongal got skimmed out for a lot of things. His Dragoon is pretty much useless. Only a few additions. Got pretty mid stats overall, too. Yeah, that would be very off-brand for Rose for sure. Hey, thanks for the donation, Schwabe. Appreciate it. If anyone here is liking what we're doing and wants to contribute to the project, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. We do these streams usually every week, every Wednesday. Like the video, and after it's over, just leave us a comment on the VOD. Helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you really like what we're doing, there is a donation link in the corner of the screen over there, and you can send me a donation, either a one-off or a monthly subscription, which gives you various perks and things like that. And yeah, it basically just lets me spend more time working on Severed Chains. Yeah, that's very true. He does definitely hit like a truck. Oh, it added everybody back to my party. Come on now. I was doing a Lavitz only run. Wish Kongo had a feature to him where he automatically counterattacked physical attacks against him for base, no additional damage. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Kind of like what he does when you're fighting him and you miss your addition. Also, I would just like to point out for the longtime viewers that I have not missed a single addition this entire stream, so... And now I missed one because I was reading chat. Wrestling Limlock Kongle. Yeah, Kongle can play the most aggressive support character ever. He can just run up and disable the enemy. I missed Shanna's addition. You're right. Gonna let Dart die because I was gonna do Lavitz only anyway. Wow, Garrett. Wow. And reading chat again. Okay, I'm gonna pay attention now. Honestly, it is Dart's fault for me missing. I agree with that. Whose Rod Typhoon is better? I guess it depends on which character you like better. Alright, there we go. Shanna's dead now. Oh, hopefully he doesn't get so many attacks in a row that he kills Lavitz. How is Frugal faster than Lavitz? That's what I want to know. Is Shanna's model changing size when attacking? I don't think so. I have no idea. I didn't notice it if it was. Stop finding bugs, Inc. Inc asking the dangerous questions. Now, what do you honestly feel like about Shauna and Miranda, Pony Bro? What do you feel? Air your laundry. If you say you like Miranda, then you're insta-banned. All right, that's acceptable, Pony Bro. That's acceptable. All right, honestly, Icarus, you're off the team. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Miranda's characterization. She's just like angry for the sake of being angry. She needs therapy. Yeah, Shoaib, that's a very common ask. That is certainly one option for adding something like an addition to the archers. Yeah, I agree with you. Tons of fun. It's just such a weird thing. Like she's just so overly aggressive the way that they wrote her. Can one of the devs in the chat log that when Frugal slams you into the ground, the camera goes underground for part of it? That's obviously not supposed to happen. Yeah, they definitely do both have a serious sense of duty. What would you guys like to see changed in a remake? Changed or improved? Yeah, that's what I was asking, Matthew. Like, why is Frugal faster than Lavitz? He does not look like a fast man. Yeah, some more content would be very cool. I think that they could really expand on the Valley of Corrupted Gravity for one thing. You know, it's a pretty interesting area lore-wise, being like an area so corrupted by the war that, you know, gravity doesn't even work. Uncle dating side quest. Yeah, let's take a look at their speed stats here real quick and just see what we're working with. So Frugal's speed is 50 and Lavitz's speed is 40. There you go. Lloyd playable for side quests as a temporary character. Other character backgrounds. Miranda useful. Yep, all good ideas. Yeah, give archers some form of additions. That's very commonly requested. That is something that we plan on looking into. Boss rush is also something that we plan to add. Party being able to counterattack. That's something that we would be interested in looking into. New Game Plus is definitely something that we are going to be adding. Fun fact on this map, I'm going to pause it here. If you look really closely at the characters, these are actually beta models. For some reason, they didn't swap the models to the new ones in this scene. See how Shauna and Dart both have much lighter hair here? Dart's armor is more like a bronzy orange color. Yeah, these are completely different character models than you see pretty much anywhere else in the game. There's this map and maybe one other. And yeah, Lavitz is a beta model as well. You can see his hair looks quite a bit different and his eyes. The beta models had much more like anime eyes than the final models do. Yeah, it happens so fast that it's really difficult to see. But yeah, that's the thing. A dialogue that changes the story would be interesting. Dancing minigame, yeah, more minigames would be cool. Yeah, many LUTs, that's true. It can very much just look like the lighting is off. Oh, is my camera frozen again? Let's see if I can get that working. That happened on one of the other streams too. Easy fix. Fix. There we go. Back in business. How close is the visual mod to being completed and released? So if you're talking about the next build of Severed Chains, which has the upgrades that we're seeing here now, um, it's not really a mod. Basically, we've rewritten the entire rendering engine and animation engines. Um, we are getting fairly close to the end of the development cycle, and starting not this weekend, but the next weekend after that, we're going to be going into a ramp up phase for testing because we're getting quite close to actually being finished here. Actually, let's go to intended encounter rate, which is even higher than the bugged retail rate. And let's pull the other characters back out of the party. Yeah, it would have been very nice to get a Legend of Dragoon 2 for sure. One of the interesting things that we will eventually be able to do with Severed Chains is actually basically entirely turn off the Severed Chain or the Legend of Dragoon storyline, and modders will be able to create, entire games inside of the Legend of Dragoon engine or entire storylines as side quests or expansions or whatever, prequel, you know, whatever they want to do really. Possible to add the characters following Dart around when running around. I mean, probably. They do it in that last map there. I imagine it wouldn't be particularly difficult. It's hard to say what percent the upscale mod is at because as the technology improves, they do a fair bit of redos. I can't really speak for them. Eventually, it'd be cool to see weapon and armor actually changing on the characters. Yeah, weapons wouldn't be as difficult as armor because there's a lot less weapons than there is armor. Um, oh, I see a couple of donations have come in that I completely missed. Uh, Here. Thank you, tons of fun. Second. Didn't give me the notification for some reason. Thank you, tons of fun for the $50 donation. That is huge. Very much appreciate it. Full at 84 and counting. I'm disappointed in the Canadian turnout. Come on, people. Yeah, FPTF, it's partially that and also partially that Legend of Dragoon released at like the very end of the PS1 life cycle. Like it was really late. I think if they had have delayed until the PS2 came out, it probably would have had some more success. Partially because they could have, made the game look better and expanded on it a little bit more. Not sure why they chose to release when they did. Publisher pressure or whatever, but that's what happened, and unfortunately, it didn't perform very well. Yeah, I mean, like, what you're seeing here, like, we haven't actually changed any of these models or textures or anything. This is actually what they look like. The PS1 just is way too low of a resolution, and the LOD code was restricted by the limitations of PS1, like, having fairly low resolution animations and very poor 3D support. Like, this is actually what the game looks like. This is what the devs intended when they made these models and textures and things. Um, but yeah, the PS1 just couldn't handle it. Yes, better voice acting on the FMV. That would be very nice. I would love to get my hands on the FMVs before they compress the hell out of them to put on the CDs because, man, the quality is so bad. The format that the PS1 used for FMVs is basically just like a series of JPEGs with the compression cranked up to like 11, and it's just so bad. Combo of publisher pressure and essentially having to make the game from scratch in a new system. Yeah, the PS2 actually has a lot of similarities with the PS1. I'm not sure how much. I don't know nearly as much about the PS2 hardware as I do with the PS1, but some of it does transfer, not all of it. I know the audio stuff is pretty similar. Actually, LOD uses some file formats that were sort of like beta tests for PS2 files. The audio, for one thing. It was sort of like an experimental, like beta test file format. A couple of the Sony studios were doing that stuff at like the very end of the PS1 life cycle. You can see them in Legend of Dragoon, another game that has them is Ape Escape 2. Yeah, Oh It Cannot Be is like the quintessential bad delivery example in LOD. It's so bad and so good. That and Shanna going, ah, like the so bad it's good. Yep, I have no doubt that you were right. Little darts get some pretty intense eyes. Actually, big darts got some pretty intense eyes too. Yeah. Nothing will beat Albert's eyes though. His face is just hilarious. Yeah, Hashel's lack of eyes is pretty good too. He's just got like black void. It's so funny that like random NPCs all through the game have so much more detailed faces than the main cast, and I have no idea why they did that. You'll have like random one-off NPCs that you only see a single time, and they're just like way, way higher quality than the main cast. That oops, I was looking at chat again. That does look exactly like what Albert's face looks like. Yeah, we do, Shui, we do plan on adding a rush mode as well. That'll be coming in the future for sure. I'm gonna actually turn off encounters for now, just to move things along here. Yeah, it'd be very, very, very interesting to have a rushed mode. Yeah, especially with Labitz's pretty mid magic ability. Kind of surprised by that. Eighty-eight votes on the poll. Come on, people, get your votes in. What do you think happens after the events of the main story? That is a great question. I feel like, I mean, we see that Dart and Shauna settle down. I feel like Dart probably would put his mercenary days behind him. I imagine Albert would go back to kingly duties. Muru probably goes back to the Forest of Winglies and tries to get them to open up their doors to the outside. Haschel, I want to say Haschel would go back to his village, finally content in knowing what happened to his daughter, but he seems like the kind of person that would be stubborn enough that he would still just, continue wandering since, that's all he's known for, however long. Or who knows, maybe he would kind of settle down with Dart. Congo causes a massive hole in the wooden floor at training grounds in Rouge. Congo would probably cause a lot of holes in the floor in Rouge. Miranda probably goes and just bees angry somewhere else. Haschel and Congo buddy vigilante post game. I like it. Let's get an expansion about that. Am I missing anyone? I don't think I'm missing anyone. What made me select LOD to be the one game I reverse engineered? Um, what a great question. Uh, I have ADHD, and one day I was thinking about LOD, and I was like, I'm gonna port this game to PC. And the rest is history. Yeah, no, I didn't set out to just like, I didn't decide to reverse engineer a game and then pick LOD. I was just kind of like, I'm gonna reverse engineer LOD. And yeah, there was that one point where I accidentally reverse engineered half of Mega Man Legends. Just kind of went on a bit of a tangent, and it just happened. Lag on the audio thread, interestingly, but not the thread. Yeah, ADHD fueled hyperfixation. I have a habit of so that we only have Lavitz in the party. I have a habit of doing extremely difficult and time-consuming projects. Yeah, no, Garrett, it just kind of happened. I don't control what the fingers do. This is actually by far the longest I've ever stuck with one project. That poison is not great. Oh yeah, the game has been fully completable for like a year and a half. 2.1 is fully completable, and you can it just has like minor visual and audio graphic or minor visual and audio bugs here and there. I am going to use spells, hopefully. Gonna pop a healing potion. No, that's actually a very good point, Chocolate. We're gonna crash after this fight because we don't have the no dart fixes integrated yet. Hey, Icarus, can you send me a patched version of this script real quick? You've already patched this one, haven't you? Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, there's some issues with using no dart. Icarus has been working on patching those out for the last little bit. Doing it live. Fortunately, the script isn't loaded yet, so I can just swap them in and it'll be fine. Oh, I forgot that he was up there. I know, Levitz, I know. Oh, don't worry, it'll take me a little while to kill him. On 3 moves in a row. Fortunately, I have a lot of burnouts. There we go, I hit 200. Alright, Icarus sent me the script patch, so we're gonna drop that in here real quick. Please hold, we are live patching the game. $572/1. Alright, hopefully this will fix the crash. Yeah, we're just gonna guard until he drops back down. Yeah, I just overwrote. Thank you, Icarus. I'm gonna play it safe here. I probably finish him off with my next attack, but just in case. Good thing. I think we played it safe. Alright, let's use that detonate rock. Oh, that did barely any damage at all. But I think that killed him. Finisher with Lavitz. There we go. Icarus' script patch working perfectly. The addition system added for archers and added dragoon abilities as well. You're in luck because we plan to add additions to archers, and Zychronix' hard mode actually adds some additional spells for dragoons and level 7 dragoons. So yeah, it's already possible. Come on, Bullet 94, let's hit 100. Man, these cutscenes are looking so much better now. I actually haven't played through like any of the game in months. I've just been like, head down working on implementing effects. So it's very nice to see things actually like looking good now. Double level up. Yeah, Shadow, it's publicly available. We've got 2 versions available. There's recommended build 2.1, which is the current stable release. At this point, it's around I think 10 months old. Um, then there is what I'm playing here right now, which is the dev build. The dev build is automatically uploaded every time we push new code, so it's always like bleeding edge up to date. However, if you were playing it, you should expect bugs and things like that because, as I said, it is always 100% up to date with the latest codes, so it is not thoroughly tested. However, that being said, it looks very nice. I wonder why we're getting this lag on the audio thread. I'm actually gonna just pop into the real-time debugger here right now. Um, and see what's going on. Just give me 1 second here. Take a monitor of look at what's going on here. Yeah, the OpenAL thread is just cooking right now. Gen buffer is taking up 50% of the time. That is pretty odd. I'm gonna have to look into that. Just gonna make a couple of notes for myself here, because obviously this is gonna have to be fixed. Yeah, so the gen buffers in both cases is just taking up like the vast majority of the time here, like 96% of the CPU time on this thread. And that is bad. That's definitely what the issue is here. Alright, well, that is that. Yeah, Icarus has made huge progress on the no dart stuff lately. He said to me earlier it's somewhere like 70% done. Yeah, it would be nice if Shauna could use that power whenever she wanted. That would be very nice. And that audio is in pretty rough shape here. You can kind of see Albert's terrified eyes in this scene. That is the face of a man who has seen some shit.
Hello.
What's up, Drew?
I ended up being away for a while. Sorry about that.
That was totally fine.
But it's kind of a shame with Albert because that's a special model, with the royal garb and everything, and it could be so much better.
I think my camera locked up with me in. There we go. I'm having some issues with the audio thread.
There's a
That
good
seems
question for you.
Gods, Winglies
What is
ruled
the
over all living creatures and used them as slaves. The enslaved suffered a terrible domination and injustice.
We are actually rendering the cutscenes at a slightly higher quality than what's possible in the PS1 as well, just because we're using better quality quantization tables, which is part of the JPEG macro block decoding. But there's only so much polish you can slap on a turd, and they're compressed so bad that there's just nothing that can really be done.
It was a harsh war. Both people and Winglies suffered countless injuries and fatalities.
Yeah, the voice acting here is great.
It was the humans who acquired the future. The age of humans had begun.
Some of the voice acting is pretty rough. That one is great. Thank you, Taser Crumb. Yeah, it's been a lot of work, but you know, the whole reason we do it is because there's so many people that are so very passionate about this game.
Got a
What
good
is
question from Shadow.
what is the best feature you have added, and what is your favorite ambition for a future feature? My favorite is definitely the upscaled resolution and 60 frames per second. I think that is like the number one thing here that really makes a difference. What about you, Drew?
Oh, I have answers. I have answers ready. In this case, I mean, I'm excited for all of it. Anybody who knows me, but if I could pick one, it would probably be um, natural widescreen. So instead of stretched widescreen, regular widescreen and battle and world map is great as a current feature. And then top ambition, I want to see various PvP and additional minigame features.
Restart the game so that we hopefully get fix these audio issues. Yeah, my most anticipated upcoming feature. That is a great question. No
There's so
Dart
much to
is
choose from.
definitely up there. Like actually like fully functional no Dart. That's definitely way up there on my list.
It's a pretty good one because you know, not just from a casual perspective, but also from a strategic perspective, you can have so many more build combinations play out instead of having it always revolve around Dart.
Inchi, that is possibly the most difficult question I've ever been asked. I don't think I can answer that.
Looks like you still have your poll active. Do you want to end that?
No, we're trying to hit 108.
Oh, okay. We need another 12 votes on the current poll if y'all can pull that up.
Uh,
Golden opportunity right there. I'll also be breaking for dinner shortly, but I want to do at least check back in with you.
Actually, Chad, I think it's probably about time that we wrap up the stream. We've been going for 2.5 hours, and well, we didn't do any development whatsoever, but that's fine. I've been
That's a good dev stream.
yeah, I've been enjoying actually like running through the game for the first time in like literally years. I think the last time that I actually played through any amount of this game was when we were doing the live stream builds, and I was trying to stay ahead of you so that I could fix the
Yeah,
crashes and implement the code before you got there. And yeah, that was like 2 years ago. And yeah, it's nice to actually see you know, all of the things that we've been working on coming together. Everything looking really nice now.
getting close.
Yep, we definitely are very close. I'll say once more that not this weekend, but the weekend after next, we are going to start doing coordinated testing for this upcoming release. So anyone who is interested in joining in on that, uh, join our Discord server. I'm going to send a link to that in the chat. Hop into the Separate Chains channel and just mention that you would like to be a tester. We'll add you to the group. Basically what's going to be happening is we'll be like dividing up the game into various regions for people to like really deep dive into and do comparisons with retail, find any like little like disagreements between Severed Chains and the actual like retail PS1 game and report those to us so that we can fix them. Because we want this release to A, look really good, but B, also be like super faithful to the original. And you know, that's one of the most important tenets to us is keeping things faithful. We want to bring in new people with the flashy new features that are, the optional features that can be toggled on or off, and we want to make the diehard fans uh, happy as well.
And also, C, the more we rigorously test, the less likely we'll need a day one patch. We don't want to be like some other developers in the industry.
Yeah, exactly. Is testing going to be streamed? I mean, I wasn't planning on it, but it could. We might do some streams here and there with, getting everybody together and
Yeah.
banging out the testing. Maybe do some
We can-
multi-streams with, a few people's screen shares up or something.
We can create a few events, maybe one day, each day of that weekend, perhaps. And you don't have to test during that period, but like it might be a way for people to do some like cross accountability or cross inspiration kind of a thing. We all just get on, do it together.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Drew, do you have anything you wanted to say before we go?
I'm all good for now.
All right, we just hit 100 votes on the Canadian poll, so I'll accept that. I think we did pretty good.
I
with
voted.
18%.
I wish.
Yeah,
to
I
be
know
honest,
you
I
did.
wish.
Yes, the more testers we have, the better. So if you are interested in helping us out as Ion, then pop into the Discord server and yeah, just let us know that you want to help out. Thanks to everybody who turned out for the stream. This is a pretty good one. We had a very good turnout, and yeah, if you like what we're doing here, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We do try to do this every week on Wednesday. Drew does a stream too on Fridays. Like the video, and if you really like what we're doing, there is a donation link in the corner of the screen. You can send a one donation, or you can subscribe monthly for various perks. Huge thank you to everyone who is currently subscribed to me, and those who sent donations during this. And have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Good night.